Jakarta EE continues to be important because if you look at the domain logic in the world, the domain models that runs the world today, almost all of them are written in Java. And with the emergence of AI, the significance of standards becomes more important. You will get spec-driven development, and we have a pretty good set of specifications. So in the future, you can potentially generate your application based on the Jakarta EE specifications. And by having these standard components, a standard way of doing it, and integrating with AI, which you can do today, since everything is written in Java, you don't have to learn another language, you don't have to introduce another technology. You can use what you already have and leverage that.
Yeah, I think Jakarta EE is well used by many runtimes and supported by many runtimes. I think it's fundamental for the future application development.
From what I see, Jakarta EE is used almost everywhere, especially within finance, within insurance companies, within energy, within governments, tax agencies. It's almost used everywhere, within healthcare. I don't think you can find many places where Java is not used today, and Jakarta EE in particular. So that is why it continues to be important.
In the industry where I see Jakarta EE being used today is in heavily regulated industries. Banking, finance, insurance, those heavily regulated industries, because standards are very important. So the regulatory frameworks require a lot of reliability for applications in those industries. And Jakarta EE has proven to be reliable and always there for those industries. And so those are the places where I see it being used the most.
I think Jakarta EE is used the data access. So that's why it's a new spec, Jakarta data was proposed. So the application won't work much if there's no backend data. So I think that's where it's going to need more feature update. And also the CDI is keep on evolving. I think that's a glue. That's very proven over again. That's very useful. The other thing is Jakarta EE works very nicely with the macro profile, so that's a great ecosystem. So it's with the macro profile and Jakarta EE, that's covered pretty much everything your enterprise application will need.
It's being used a lot of places. I've seen it a lot in most of the systems I have been working with, both as a consultant and also as an in-house developer and all that. And a lot of that is in, for example, security part, or like authorization, authentication, and all these kind of things. I mean, dependency injection, all those kind of things are being used a lot of places. And the important part is that the Jakarta EE has a bunch of specs and, well, obviously reference implementations of those specs that make your life easier. You don't have to reinvent the wheel for whatever. Like, for example, I don't know, there is a batch spec, right? Or something else, and you don't have to rewrite that thing over and over again. You can just import it and use it.
I think what I see is like almost every Java-based system of any reasonable size is somewhat based on Jakarta EE. Either they know it themselves or not, because what we see, and I think we really saw that when the namespace changed from JavaX to Jakarta. Then suddenly many people discovered that, well, we actually need to do something here because Jakarta EE has changed the namespace. So that means that we are actually using Jakarta EE specifications either directly or somewhere under the hood. So, for instance, we are seeing that many projects or many applications are based on Spring or Spring Boot, and Spring Boot and Spring is based on several of the Jakarta EE specifications. So, and I think like there aren't that many. Most software running Java is based on some Jakarta EE technologies, which is also a sign. Which is a sign of why Jakarta is so important, because it's so widely used.